Okay, we're back.
It's good to know. It's good to know I'm not the only one who is getting that feeling. Fluff.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I have been thinking that since like session 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
That's why I said the thing that I said in the pictures. Look between Adam and Thomas in the picture.
So I was kind of like zoned out, making sure I got everybody's inventory updated because a lot of times I forget to do that shit. So just one more time. Everybody's doing what?
Okay, I'm taking the journal and I'm gonna go no, Casey's taking the journal. I'm taking the things that are scribed in a different language and taking it to university.
Okay.
Casey's gonna be reading the journal and
Okay.
researching. Thomas and Adam are going to go talk to the family, get some information from them, and Bob and Don are going to be going to Marshall and seeing what information they can gather there. We're going to meet back here in about 6 hours, give or take. We're going to meet back at a...
That's going to be tight for us to get to Marshall, figure out information, and come back.
Marshall is 2-hour drive away, so that's 4 hours to and from. And they said 6
and then 2 hours to investigate.
True,
By
Marshall's
the way, 6 hours would be like 4 in the morning.
Oh.
It is currently like 10 p.m.
Okay, so it's 10 p.m. now.
Also, your car still has a flat tire, and a rough bit of the axle.
We gotta get our car fixed.
Yeah. One thing
Alright,
I am
then
gonna say,
I say we meet at and I turn to Dawn. Is there a good place that serves a decent cup of coffee around here?
In Winchester.
You would know of a coffee shop.
I was trying to think of an actual good coffee shop.
Okay. You can.
Give me. There's Grand's Diner by the university.
Sounds good. We'll meet back there at 2:00 tomorrow with what we found and grab a bite to eat before we head and do this thing. Gives us plenty of time to get some rest, plenty of time to get some research, plenty of time to...
Do the 4 who have traveled here have any plans for accommodation? Such as, I don't know, a hotel, a boarding place, a motel, somewhere that they can stay?
Probably a motel. Somewhere with the phone so that I can call Adam's wife. Let her know what's going on.
You can arrange that.
No, we'll be like the homeless guy and sleep in a box.
You're not sleeping in the box.
You're sleeping in a room. You're sleeping in a 3-star motel.
We're gonna sleep in a motel. We're gonna sleep in the motel. You and Adam are gonna share a bed. I'll bunk on the floor. Casey gets a bed, and we'll work this shit out.
It's actually candy. A 2.5-star motel, but
Don't mind the cockroaches.
They like to round up.
Hey, as long as there's not enough rats to eat, it should be fine.
So, easily the people who get their actions first are the people investigating the family, who is right here at the hospital.
Show me that. Give them some time to grieve or something.
Well, okay, how long are you giving them to grieve?
Well,
give them an hour.
Yeah, are they in the
room?
Hour?
5 minutes. 10 minutes. 1 minute. 3 seconds.
Because then if we're waiting, one of us could read the journal.
Floyd has taken the journal with them.
No.
Oh wait, no. KC has taken the journal with them
Yeah, I have the journal.
Yeah, and if you're investigating the property, there are two places you could go. You could go to the Winchester Hall of Records,
or I think where I said Casey should go to.
And you also know, as a person who loves reading, that the library is always a good place to check.
And I'll go there after I'm done at for the university, because the university is probably not in session right now. It's 10 o'clock.
Indeed.
So I'll go there first, and Casey can go to the Hall of Records.
Okay.
This is just, I know the area. I'm 90% sure that the their library is in San Antonio University or like connects to it. So if one's closed, they're both closed.
All right, then I guess Casey and I are gonna go get a bed.
So everybody's
Woo!
just going home except for
Casey and I are gonna go A, see if we can find a mechanic, and B, gonna go see if we can find a motel for the night.
Oh.
So okay. So you guys are going to call it a night and do your investigating tomorrow. In that case, Thomas, you and Adam are waiting, just giving the family a bit of time. You see them walking down the hall as if to leave.
Alright, well, we're gonna go and walk over to him and, heck, should you say we could do, like, an idea roll if we can't really think of anything off the top of our head?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ooh, 5.
Okay.
What can I work with? Because,
So,
I'm drawing a blank.
you know that the two people's names are Brenda, which is his wife's name,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mhm.
Jeremy, which is his son's name. You know that the son looks to be very well educated and a lawyer.
Hold on a second. I got a pencil here. Ugh, okay.
Like, you've actually seen the suits that that lawyers wear. He seems to be wearing one of those suits. You know that these people are deep in grief, so it might be a good idea to, approach very, very gently. In those kind of situations, you might want to lead off with something besides the topic that you're trying to investigate into. Such as, like, discussing the man himself, just trying to offer your condolences, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
You probably also overheard from Floyd that they probably would have divulged the information to you that the son feels relatively suspicious, so you might want to go for the wife, as she would probably have the most information and would probably be a bit friendlier.
So, we'll slowly walk
back.
up to him, and we'll offer our condolences, and
Ooh, extreme success.
The wife nods and kind of blurts out a "thank you" to you
What'd Randy get an extreme success for?
on an idea roll concerning how he should approach these two.
Mm. I'm gonna mute while I eat.
I want to ask her when exactly the cancer started. Like how long has it been?
Well, we didn't know about it. It's apparently one of those things that doctors say that, it can hide if you don't get it checked out. He'd always have coughing fits, and eventually we went to the doctor and they told him that it was late stage cancer. It wasn't going to be anything they could do about it. That was a couple months ago, and ever since then, I mean, he was just so depressed. He would always he wouldn't even really talk to me much. I don't know.
Stage 4. Just wanna correct you on that.
Well, she doesn't know that.
Wait, what kind of technology did they have for like cancer back then? Hold on.
Cancer was probably a really new thing to be defined.
G for 19. The 1900s, I'm guessing? 1900?
1920s.
First use of radiation therapy to cure cancer was in 1899, and then 1992, cancer tumors in single cells with chromosomal damage.
I don't fucking know about any of that. The guy died. I don't care.
Dead.
Basically,
Rest in peace.
X-ray therapy.
My story relies on the fact that he died. We're not changing that.
Of what he did say to you, was there anything you found strange?
Oh, it just something about this. He would always talk about his old friend. Hold on, I have to look up a name here. That's going to come up later.
Jordan. Just any name, just like Jordan or something.
No,
Jordan
I've
Gray.
actually written this down, so it needs to be particular.
What?
You said my name.
No,
Okay,
I didn't
oh,
say.
shit.
No, I said I was looking
Sorry,
up
I
a
didn't know
name.
That was your name. I was just shouting a random name on top of my head for Hex to help out with him.
Oh.
Well, that's awkward.
There is no Jordan here.
He would always talk about his friend James, saying that maybe he could do something, but... Or if only he could do something. That he was the most clear-headed... I don't know. That's all I remember.
Hmm.
But James died a while back, so... I don't know. What did he talk to you guys about? Feels weird that I couldn't be there.
Rocks.
Can I? Oh wait. Can I suggest how to say this so that Randy has an idea of what to say?
Yep.
Randy, say because you're carpenter. Is that what you were, or lumberjack?
Lumberjack.
Hey, don't laugh at me. He and
No,
Adam
I'm
hang out so often. I can...
occupation. It's much lower class.
All right. So, so as a lumberjack, and Adam being a carpenter, say that there is an old property that he needed you and a group of friends to take a look at that's been deemed hazardous, and that he didn't want you, didn't want the wife and the son to worry about it because he believes it's going to be demolished anyway. And he just wanted like some outside opinion,
I like that.
which
I
isn't
like-
a lie. You're just not telling the full truth of the mythos shit.
Yeah, I was mulling over. I don't know if I wanted to casually mention that.
Nope.
There's
yeah.
this weird otherworldly entity that we have to go vanquish, you know.
And
Okay,
since you're
okay,
not,
hold
and
on, I
since you're
got
not,
it.
and since you're not lying, the lawyer dude, the son, won't be as suspicious because you're not lying.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with what Fluff suggested, that we're going to repair the house.
So he's not suspicious with you for that reason, but as you talk about the house being demolished and are saying, "Oh yeah, I remember about that house. You never really wanted to demolish it though. It seemed the opposite." And suddenly the son hears about the house being demolished, and he's suspicious for a different reason now. Says,
Oh.
"What do you mean you're demolishing that house?
No,
Ain't that supposed to be my inheritance?"
No, what I had said that it might be demolished by the locals, is what he was saying.
Oh. Okay.
So the son might actually be a little happy then. We were saying that we were gonna go and repair the house because the locals are planning to demolish it.
Okay, well, in that
And
case,
that he asked us,
yeah.
and that he asked us to handle it because he didn't want that stress on the wife and son.
In that case, the son stops you earlier, but not in his angry manner, and he says, "In that case, I better go. In that case, I better go to that property early. Make sure that it's not being destroyed."
Sir, you need to stop him quickly in saying that the house is heavily,
Dangerous.
damaged.
Like it's unstable. It's deteriorated.
Deteriorated and
No, wait. What?
Like it's a
What
hazard,
about-
basically.
it's a
Like
very
total
big hazard.
renovations.
And say that
Okay.
once it is safe to walk around freely, that you will come and get him.
Yes.
But for now, to leave it to the professionals. Hell, you had to hire a doctor to be on site for this shit.
Yes.
He raises an eyebrow to that, and you think you have not dissuaded him from that. Unless you wish to use a certain skill to do that.
I was
Ooh.
gonna say, is there like a
That would be a
roll?
You could
Ooh.
also mention
not a
that that you have that the county locals know of his father's name and they might attack him because same last name.
The dangerous
They might go
hillbillies.
hostile.
He is confident he can manage himself. You are going to have to persuade him.
Oh, I'm gonna have to.
Well,
Hey,
either you can persuade, charm, intimidate, or I think there's one other skill. It's a social skill. You'll have to use a social skill.
You could also appeal to the mother, saying, "It's best if you stay with your mother during these trying times."
Would that
Or-
work?
Or bring up the.
You can try that, but that would still be a roll.
Okay.
Adam-
So
Adam
am I rolling regardless? Is that what you're trying to
Yes,
say?
yes.
Okay,
If you are trying to
okay.
convince him, you are rolling
Okay.
regardless.
Okay.
Just depends
can
on how
I
you're doing
bring
it.
Can I bring like an option, even though the role's still gonna be doing? With the mother thing is a good idea, but maybe like say like that because of how hostile those guys are, they're probably trying to hunt you guys down, including
They don't know
yourself and
about
your
those
mother.
people.
Well, they might see the guy and be like, "Hey, isn't that the guy?" Because relations, I don't know, something like
Well,
that.
yeah,
That they
but the
might
people he's
potentially-
trying to convince don't know about the hillbillies.
Yeah.
Well, then. Alright.
So that wouldn't have any effect on them. They'd kind of raise their eyebrow and be like, "What? Who?"
Crazy homeless guys. There you go.
Something I do want to say. Adam should also roll because he is very persuasive.
Hey,
He might be able to. Let's see.
save me, Adam, again.
Adam has no skills in any of this.
Oh, so we're
I'm
both
saying you both roll
equally.
because in
Yeah,
case one
neither
you
of you
fucked
do.
up.
This is going to be either charm, intimidate, persuade, or fast talk. One of the four.
Okay, well, no to that, and no to that, and no to that because that'd be weird.
Wait, why is my intimidate 50?
Okay.
Oh, geez, we're
I'm
finding
gonna-
out that some people are better at this.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, fuck, I forgot.
What?
My persuade's 22.
Yep. You're
So
not
you're
here,
not-
though.
You're not here.
You said the two
Eh.
people completely socially inept to do
Well,
this.
Ah, okay, I'm doing intimidate.
Oh, you're okay.
It did nothing.
You need to get Adam to roll persuasion.
No, that's a lower one. If he didn't increase.
I'm going to say
any of his-
that. I'm going to say that because Randy has done the absolute opposite and kind of like changed the entire mood of the conversation. Persuasion is no longer an option.
Randy, why did I told you not to do that?
So you puff up your chest, and you kind of say, "Listen, buddy, all right. You don't go to that house because I need to check it first. It's my job, all right.
And you're stinky.
And just because you're all rich and a lawyer and stuff doesn't mean that you are better than me at this job and that you have any more right to go to that house before I do. That's kind of the direction you're going with this." And he kind of sneers at you, and he kind of motions for his mother to leave, and says,
Oh.
"We're going to that house. That's my house now. It's going to be my inheritance."
You know what?
Isn't that all you
He
care
could
about?
go
And I
get
think-
shot.
And I
He
think
could go
I
get
can handle
shot by
myself
him.
just fine, unless you want to deal with the law and a lawyer.
Okay, I just want to bring up really quickly.
Not to mention that you took the last moments I could have had with my father from me.
I just want to point
And
out
with
that
that,
when
he
mentioned
storms
he was
off,
gesturing,
and you have lost your lead.
When he was gesturing to his mother,
Why didn't you get
it's
Adam to
very-
roll 2?
Because Adam can't really do that now that the kind of mood has broken down. He's not in a mood to listen
Randy!
anymore.
Randy, I told you not to intimidate the fucker.
See,
Well,
you
to be
could've-
honest,
No,
to be
listen.
real with you,
Listen,
intimidate was one of the 2 skills that he had the best chance of doing. Okay, because if he was persuading, that would have been a 10% chance. Fast talk would have been 5%, and this would be the case for both of them.
Yes, but with at least with persuasion, you could have pulled the mother angle, and if Adam had rolled, it probably would have been better than Randy's. Or if Adam rolled worse, Randy could have done it. That's what I'm trying to say. It's
Well-
better to have more options than to just intimidate the fucker. Why do men think with their dicks?
Wait, what?
Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Hold on.
I just realized we could have taken an entirely different direction, and we could have.
Shut up, Fuyu. I think we have a more important thing to address here. What?
Wait, what?
Okay.
Get out, right?
What?
No.
No.
That's too funny to edit
You
out.
no. Put it in the blooper reel. Do not put that in the
Wait,
final.
I don't
cut.
have a blooper reel.
Put a blooper
Oh.
reel because the shit that we say is funny as hell. First
Yeah,
off.
that's what I do. I clip it. Just like the other clip. Anyway.
I was
So,
gonna say-
we're gonna have to have lessons learned with that. They have gone. You don't think that they're going to be receptive to any more questioning?
I was gonna say that maybe we could have alternatively maybe forged something and been like, oh no, it's an entirely different direction. We don't know anything about it. It's in a different location. The prince is in another castle. That kind of.
oh
thing.
my god.
We could have done something like that and been cheeky about it.
Hex, I have a question. A serious
Yes.
question. Is there something in this guy's will to say if I reach out to someone about this location, let them do their job?
You don't
Wait, did-
have
did he give
access to
us
his
the-
will,
Oh, okay,
but
okay.
considering
but
that
I'm
he
asking.
But
Yeah.
consider so you can kind of have a logical thought here, which is actually I will need you to roll an idea roll for it because this is a intelligence thought.
Who, me?
Yes, since
Okay.
you're specifically the one thinking of it.
Well, that's unfortunate.
You have no idea. You don't know. You don't know. You don't have access to his will, so you couldn't possibly know.
I was just saying that should be probably something because we got screwed. That something should be kept as an idea that he probably has a clause in his will about that.
Perhaps, but you're not smart
I
enough to know.
love how angry you
Well,
are.
I'm smart enough. It's just I fucking suck roll right now.
This could have been resolved if we all just simply vibed with rocks, you know.
So,
Fucking
with
solve.
with that being said, I believe the next person to finish their action would be KC, who finishes reading the journal. And I'm going to read the contents of this journal to you that you get from the relevant sections, and this is going to be a long one. All right?
Ooh.
I will post it later, but this is going to be a long read. So, KC, from fully reading this journal, which only took you an hour, first off, you're going to gain 1% Cthulhu Mythos skill.
Cool.
This journal details the events of the life of Stephen Bondell, with the listed excerpt dates relating to his experiences in performing magic with his occult youth group in the somewhat childish name of the Disciples of Darkness, and the catastrophic and fatal consequences of his participation in these rituals. The first entry date that is of significance to you is dated March 4th, 1880, and the entry reads as follows. Today is the day my friends and I commit to casting what our leading warlock, Mr. Medowin, said is a ritual to contact a friendly spirit from beyond this world. We have all been given a copy of the chant we must recite for the next 2 hours, except for myself. I have been appointed as the official note-taker for the ceremony. This is our second attempt at this ritual, the last having to be cancelled as Kevin had to go home as he got sick. We have set the powder in the appropriate manner upon the floor of the living room, and Mr. Medowin instructed us to blockade the doors and windows with furniture and boards, as our meeting with the spirit should only be viewed by worthy eyes. We began the chant at midnight. The sound of all of my peers speaking the language of power has been filling the room for the last hour. with a couple of breaks for individuals to get water and snacks from the cooler Mr. Medowin brought to the house. We were told this would take 2 hours, and already Kevin has taken 2 breaks. I feel like he's not cut out for this and should probably stay home on our next attempt. It's now been almost 2 hours, and our chanting feels louder than ever. I can see everyone's focus. I have an immense feeling of presence. Some power inside this room is coming from each of them. The sigil is now active, and I can feel a presence entering the room. I don't remember the last time I felt this excited. Some sort of smoke is manifesting in the center of the sigil. The chanting has stopped, and I think I can... It abruptly switches to another page, and you read the following. I never wanted to open this notebook again, but Mr. Medowin told me to write a conclusory summary. Were it only true that this was concluded, the thing we contacted was no friendly spirit. We learned that quickly when its tendrils tore Matthew in half before our eyes. Carl tried to save him, but Mr. Medowin stopped him. He said that Matthew was a fool for stepping into the sigil. I felt every heated compulsion to argue with him, but I couldn't help but agree. He walked over as if to give the thing a hug. I'll never forget the piercing way the eye stared at him, moments before skewering him with his limbs. There was no eyelids or face connected to them, no emotion that could be gleaned, and yet I feel its cold disregard for his life. It was so clear, and Lewis hasn't stopped screaming since then. I can hardly blame him. None of us are any older than 16. We've never had to stare powerlessly at death before now, much less one so gruesome. Mr. Medowin had us drag him outside and gag him before instructing us to draw signs of warding on the outside of the building. I'm not sure why we all agreed to it. I know every one of us just wanted to go home. I guess we all understood that just going home or just leaving after something like that isn't an option. Mr. Medowin instructed each of us to make a cut on our palm and place our hands against the symbols so that they may bind to our blood. Terry had to cut Lewis's palm for him. Despite his muffled screaming, I never saw him so much as flinch. As it came my turn to place my hand to the wall, I felt the house tremble to its very foundations. The otherworldly noise. The words whine and howl are, by the way, the words whine and howl are striked out, but you can still read them, as if he was not really sure what word to put here. The otherworldly noise that the creature made was all I could hear. Somehow I feel like it said something to me, though. It offered me knowledge and secrets beyond even what my instructor could tell me. He said there's many things he's purposefully not telling me. Even if I believe that, I cannot go back into that house. I never want to think of it again. Mr. Medowin said that the ward should hold so long as one of us lives, and that it should buy him enough time to think of a more permanent solution. Soon we'll have to deal with the police. Hopefully we'll be able to explain all this away. The next entry is on the next day of March 5th, 1880. The police were easier to fool than I thought they might be. I didn't catch much of the conversation, but Mr. Medowin had a certain shiny rock he showed the officer. Maybe it was some sort of bribe? Regardless, we all agreed to attest to Mr. Medowin's story that Matthew and Lewis were separated during a camping trip, during which Matthew disappeared and we only found Lewis by his screaming, presumably from trauma. They agreed to take Lewis to a nearby sanitarium until he recovers, leaving the 4 of us to figure out what we should do. Mr. Medowin says there must be a reversal spell we can do to return the monster to its home, but I suspect none of us have the stomach to ever return to that house. The next entry is dated April 19th, 1880. Mr. Medowin is dead. I saw it in the papers. I spoke to him yesterday, but it didn't feel like a normal conversation. He looked like he had aged 30 years from stress. I feel so conflicted. I didn't tell him what the spirit told me last night. I saw him, dead, mangled beyond recognition, exactly how he was described in the newspapers. I could have told him. I could have warned him. I should have warned him. But he was already a dead man. The way he spoke, the way he looked, it's like he already knew it himself. A man so lively and hopeful to find a way out of his mess a month ago. It was gone. He was nothing more than a shell. It's our mess now. The spirit said as much. It beckoned me to fix it on my own, to visit the house. I asked James if he's had the same contact with the spirit I was experiencing. Then Carl, then Terry. None of them knew what I was talking about. It's just me. Why? What does it want from me? I dare not deny the truths it tells me. They've proven true at every turn. Mr. Medowin's death, the way to reverse its summoning, then Lewis's disappearance from the asylum. I know how all of it happened, and I know that I should not know. But even if it's right about everything, the others are too fearful to return, and I dare not attempt the spell alone. I will have to find some braver than them, and braver than I. But such individuals who are trustworthy and competent are simply non-existent. Listed next, in the next entry that is of any relevance to what you are looking through, is listed the names of the so-called Disciples of Darkness, with accompanying pictures clipped near them, followed by the dates of their deaths. Matthew Cooper, murdered March 4th, 1880. Jared Medowin, murdered April 18th, 1880. Lewis McCallion, disappeared, presumed dead, July 11th, 1880, ? Terry Hamlin, committed suicide, February 14th, 1884. Carl Whitaker, succumbed to typhus, November 26th, 1907. James Nelson, disappeared, presumed dead, May 18th, 1912. Stephen Bondell, no date written. The last relevant entry to you is written in fresh ink, but with a notably shakier hand. I fear my time comes soon. My body feels afflicted with a withering death. In this most bleak hour, a new light of hope greets me. I have too little strength in me to deliberate any further. My best friend's son Thomas has never let me down before, and now he has written to me that he and a group of friends have investigated a haunted house of sorts. His experience is exactly that which I require. Perhaps if he has some adventurous appetite, I can entrust my final wish to him. God knows my Weasley biological son won't do it. Lawyers always are a fickle bunch, I suppose. In addition, my stepson Don might be a good man to entrust this task to. Perhaps he might have some more friends to add to their numbers. I have no time left in my life to be picky anymore. I can only hope they'll be successful, and that God will be merciful in judging my soul. And that is what you have read.
Stepson, huh?
Excellent.
Sorry, I
And
just want to point something out really quickly. You said rock. Shiny rock.
Yes, there was a shiny rock.
I think we can all read the chat.
that
What the fuck?
I do believe that should be kept in the final.
Rock. Rock.
Alright, so you all have read that.
Rock.
Oh, what is this? What is this on my clothes? What is this? Oh my god.
He said rock.
It's wet.
It's rock dust.
Is it shiny?
Why
rock?
is it sticky?
Is it
Oh my
rock?
god, no!
Is it
No.
Shut up!
Sticky rock?
No.
Sticky rock?
Anyway,
So, Dark, you have read that.
No, 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 no.
the stepson thing might help us in the long run.
That's me, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
Sounds to me like he didn't like his biological son.
He did describe him as Weasley.
But yeah, like he seems to like Don more than his biological son. So, that could help us. He left Don the house.
Yeah, I mean, the Jeremy's marching to his death right now.
No, he's marching to the lawyer office to get the will.
Ah, and he's bringing sacrifices. Oh my god. Ooh.
Imagine, like, here's the thing. You're his Thomas is his best friend's son. I really wish we could have fit in somewhere that you, Thomas, Don, and what's the name of the kid?
Jeremy?
Yeah.
Jeremy? Yeah,
That was
Jeremy knew each other sometime in their youth.
Well, I typically don't like to write things into other people's backstories. Sometimes I'll play fast and loose with what I know about them, but like I typically don't like to write all new things.
So we could incorporate it in our own thing by talking about what Thomas and Dawn did as kids, and then they realize it that way.
Typically, what you've written to start the campaign is ironclad, because there are times that I will overwrite things in your backstory, but that's only when it comes to sanity.
But it also you also have to incorporate the fact you are now merging two completely different groups, so some necessities have to be taken.
This is the necessity that was taken, that you are very loosely connected. I'll pause the recording, see if we get a word from Dark in a bit. Alright, okay. In that case, we will end session here, with you guys starting your investigations into what is clearly something very unpleasant. Dark, did you hear everything that you read?
Yep, yeah, and I got the link, and it was just after that my mom wanted me.
Okay, good. Then we can return on that note. So, I'll see you guys all next week. I think I'll be okay to do it then. Alright,
Will you please
see you guys then.
We all know it will simply be rock.